There is a growing sense around Rangers that the coming months could define the direction of the club for the next few seasons. With the campaign moving into its decisive stretch and a massive Old Firm clash just around the corner, attention inside IBROX is already beginning to shift toward the summer and what could be a crucial transfer window. Reports circulating around the club suggest that the Rangers board are prepared to fully back manager Danny Roll when the time comes to reshape the squad, and that message alone has already sparked plenty of discussion among supporters. The feeling behind the scenes is that the people running the club want to give the manager the tools he needs to truly build something competitive. After the adjustments made over the last two transfer windows, there is a belief that the foundations are beginning to take shape. Several of the recent arrivals have started to show flashes of the quality that convinced Rangers to bring them to Glasgow in the first place, and the board appears ready to continue down that path. It is a clear signal that the club wants stability in the dugout, and that they believe the current project deserves the opportunity to grow rather than be restarted yet again. When supporters look back at the recruitment that has already taken place, there are signs of encouragement. Some players have taken time to settle into the rhythm of Scottish football, which is often faster and more physical than many expect, but there have also been individuals who immediately showed why they were targeted. The sense within the fan base is that if this process continues and the right additions arrive in the summer, Rangers could begin to close the gap in a meaningful way. One name that has quickly become a major talking point among supporters is Mikey. The young attacking talent has already shown glimpses of something special, particularly when he is allowed to play with freedom and confidence. There have been increasing conversations suggesting Rangers would love to bring him back to IBROX next season, although the situation surrounding his long-term future remains complicated. Moore's parent club will have their own decisions to make at the end of the season. Changes in management, squad restructuring, and the uncertainty surrounding their league position could all influence what happens next. That means Rangers might find it difficult to secure a permanent transfer. However, there is talk that the club could attempt to negotiate another loan spell, potentially offering a significant fee to keep the young winger in Glasgow for another year. From what supporters have seen so far, it is easy to understand why Rangers would push for that deal. Moore has the kind of technical ability that instantly catches the eye. His dribbling, his confidence in one-against-one situations, and his ability to glide past defenders can completely change the rhythm of a match. There have been moments where opposing defenders simply could not live with his pace and movement, and when he is in that kind of form, he gives Rangers a completely different attacking dimension. But Moore is not the only young player whose name has been linked with the club recently. Another interesting profile beginning to circulate in transfer discussions is Cameron Ashia, an attacking midfielder currently developing his game in England. At just 19 years of age, Ashia is considered one of the more promising young attacking players coming through outside the top divisions, and Rangers are believed to be keeping a close eye on his situation. Ashia plays with Huddersfield Town and is capable of operating across several attacking roles. He is naturally right-footed but comfortable drifting across the forward line, whether that is on the left flank, the right side, or in a central number 10 position. That versatility alone makes him an intriguing option for any team looking to add creativity without becoming predictable in the final third. Those who have followed his development describe him as a technically gifted player who thrives when he has the ball at his feet. He enjoys running directly at defenders, using quick changes of pace and sharp dribbling to create openings. There is also an explosiveness to his movement that allows him to accelerate away from markers in tight areas. Some observers have even drawn comparisons to the style of certain top European wingers, highlighting his willingness to take risks and attack space. Despite his young age, Ashia has already gained experience in senior football this season. Although many of his appearances have come from the bench, he has still managed to make an impact when called upon. Across his appearances in various competitions, he has contributed goals and assists, showing that he can influence matches even when he is not starting regularly. Of course, like many developing players, there are still areas where he needs to improve. One of the main challenges he faces is adapting to the physical side of senior football. At times he has struggled in direct duels with stronger defenders, occasionally being pushed off the ball in tight situations. However, that is not unusual for a player still in the early stages of his career, and it is something that can often be addressed with experience, coaching, and physical development. For Rangers, a potential move for a player like Ashia would fit perfectly with the long-term recruitment strategy that has been discussed in recent months. The idea of identifying young talent before their value explodes is something many clubs across Europe are now trying to perfect. If a player develops well, performs strongly, and eventually attracts attention from larger leagues, the club can benefit both on the pitch and financially. That model has already been used successfully by many teams operating outside the very top financial tier of European football. Rangers appear increasingly interested in combining that approach with the recruitment of experienced leaders who can guide younger players through the demands of competing at the highest level in Scotland. Balancing youth and experience is never simple, but it is often the key to building a squad capable of competing across an entire season. Younger players bring energy, hunger, and unpredictability, while seasoned professionals provide stability, leadership, and tactical understanding. The challenge for the manager will be blending those qualities into a team that can handle the intensity of major matches while still playing with creativity and ambition. Another point that continues to come up in conversations around the club is the importance of adding strong personalities to the dressing room. While the recruitment of young talent is clearly part of the plan moving forward, there is also a recognition that experience cannot be overlooked. A squad filled only with potential can struggle in the moments where composure, leadership, and resilience are required, especially in a league as intense as the Scottish game. That is why there is an expectation that the summer window will not only focus on prospects, but also on players who can immediately step into the team and guide those around them. Within the club hierarchy, there appears to be a clear understanding that certain areas of the squad still need strengthening. The defensive line has been mentioned frequently by supporters and analysts alike, particularly when discussing consistency. There have been matches where Rangers looked solid and well organized, but there have also been moments where the team appeared vulnerable when placed under sustained pressure. Addressing that balance will likely be one of the priorities once the season concludes. Fullback positions are another area where improvements could arrive. Modern football demands a great deal from players in those roles. They are expected to defend aggressively, track runners, support the attack, and deliver quality balls into the penalty area. For a team that wants to dominate possession and push opponents deep into their own half, the contribution of fullbacks becomes even more important. Bringing in the right profiles could give Rangers additional width and attacking threat, while also strengthening the defensive structure. All of these conversations are happening while the current season still has massive fixtures ahead, and none is bigger than the clash that awaits this weekend. Whenever Rangers and Celtic meet, the atmosphere around the match becomes electric. It is a fixture that carries history, pride, and enormous pressure, and players quickly learn that performances in these games can define how they are remembered by supporters. This particular encounter arrives at a moment where Rangers know they must produce a complete performance. In previous matches, there have been periods where the team looked dominant and in full control, only for that intensity to fade as the game progressed. Against a rival that punishes even the smallest drop in concentration, maintaining focus for the entire 90 minutes becomes absolutely essential. One of the key tactical discussions leading into the match revolves around the role of Mikey. During previous encounters, he showed just how dangerous he can be when given the freedom to move across the attacking areas. In the first half of that game, he seemed to appear everywhere on the pitch. One moment he was drifting out wide, the next he was cutting inside into central spaces, constantly forcing defenders to adjust and react. That kind of movement caused enormous problems for the opposition defense. They struggled to track him, struggled to predict where he would pop up next, and that uncertainty allowed Rangers to create dangerous situations in the final third. However, when the second half arrived, his influence began to fade. His positioning became more restricted, and he appeared to remain much wider on the left side, which limited the unpredictability that had made him so effective earlier in the match. Because of that contrast, there is a strong belief among supporters that he must be given the license to roam again in the upcoming game. When Moore is encouraged to express himself and take risks, Rangers look far more dynamic going forward. His ability to carry the ball, draw defenders out of position, and create space for teammates can shift the momentum of an entire match. But attacking freedom alone will not be enough. Another tactical question revolves around how Rangers line up in the forward positions. The partnership between Youssef Chermatai and Ryan Naduri has sparked plenty of discussion, particularly after the way their combination worked during the early stages of previous matches. Chermatai has shown that he possesses the instincts of a striker who enjoys the big occasion. His movement inside the penalty area and his ability to find finishing opportunities make him a constant threat when Rangers are pushing forward. Yet there have also been moments where he appeared isolated when playing as the lone striker. Without close support, he can become surrounded by defenders and forced away from dangerous positions. That is where the presence of Naduri could become crucial. His work rate and relentless pressing create problems for defensive lines. He is the type of forward who constantly harasses defenders, chases loose balls, and forces mistakes through sheer determination. When he operates alongside Chermatai, it gives Rangers a much more balanced attacking structure. With two forwards pushing the defensive line back, Rangers are able to hold possession higher up the pitch. It also allows Chermatai a bit more freedom to drift into spaces where he can use his finishing ability rather than spending the entire match battling physically against center backs. The partnership adds unpredictability and energy to the attacking phase. The other important factor will be how aggressively Rangers approach the game as a whole. In matches where they have looked at their best this season, the team played with courage. They pressed high, moved the ball quickly, and attacked with intent. That proactive style forced opponents onto the back foot and allowed Rangers to dictate the tempo. When the team has drifted away from that approach, the rhythm often disappears. The passing becomes slower, the movement more cautious, and the pressure on the opposition defense begins to ease. Against a rival capable of punishing hesitation, maintaining that aggressive mindset could be the difference between controlling the match and chasing it. Everything about this weekend's clash suggests it will demand bravery, intensity, and tactical clarity from the very first whistle. Rangers know that when they play on the front foot and trust their attacking players to take responsibility, they can cause serious problems. The challenge now is ensuring that belief carries through every minute of the contest as the team prepares for one of the most important nights of the season at IBROX. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. The blue half of Glasgow is buzzing with fresh chatter after word began to swirl that midfielder Callum Slattery could be on the brink of an eye-catching move to Rangers. Nothing official has been laid on the table just yet, but whispers around the club corridors and among supporters outside IBROX suggest that something rather lively may be brewing behind the scenes. According to growing speculation, the English midfielder has already been welcomed with a rather warm reception from those close to the club. Some fans even claim there has been a celebratory mood surrounding his potential arrival, with talk that Rangers see Slattery as a player ready to inject fresh drive into the middle of the park. Whether the move is imminent or still being carefully pieced together remains uncertain, but the rumor mill is spinning at full pace. Slattery, known for his tidy control, sharp passing, and willingness to graft, has long been viewed as a player with more to give at a higher stage. That's precisely why the idea of him pulling on the famous blue shirt has stirred plenty of interest. Supporters have been debating the possibility across pubs, social media, and radio phone-ins, wondering if the midfielder could become the next engine in the Rangers midfield. Inside the club, there has been no firm confirmation, yet the tone of the whispers suggests more than idle gossip. Some insiders hint that Rangers' recruitment team have been monitoring Slattery for a fair while, admiring his composure on the ball and the bite he brings when pressing opponents. Should the speculation prove true, the arrival of Slattery would signal another statement of intent from Rangers as they continue shaping the squad for the challenges ahead. For now, though, it remains firmly in the realm of rumor and hopeful anticipation. Still, in Glasgow, it doesn't take much for excitement to catch fire, and right now the name Callum Slattery is being spoken about with a fair bit of intrigue. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.